All right, so this is the second set of questions, and I'm going to be talking about Gandhi's philosophy and a little bit of Black Lives Matter movement. So for the first question, Gandhi's philosophy we all know is active nonviolence resistance. But after watching the clips and knowing what you know, like from the lecture video, do you believe this was the most productive way to lead? And if you don't, is there any certain way that you would lead? Not necessarily like violence, but just a different type of way to lead. So for the second question, there's some racism in the movie with India and Gandhi's leading that reform. So how would you compare racism of this movie to racism in America? Is it any different? Is it all the same? Is it all just a terrible, way of life that certain type of people decide to live? I guess. I'm just asking, is it any different at all that you think from to America? And then for the third question, talking about Black Lives Matter, how do you feel about the subject? What's your thought on it? And if you don't want to answer, that's okay. I know it's kind of a touchy subject sometimes. But I just, I want to know, do you think it's violent or do you think it's not violent? And do you think it is a productive way to lead? And, will there be a change, or do you think there's already been a change? So yeah, I just want to know how you feel about that. And the last question, this is one you don't necessarily have to answer. I'm kind of trying to just get maybe a deeper thought with Black Lives Matter. So staying with the Black Lives Matter, do you think it is exaggerated on race? Now, obviously, I know there's a lot of racist people out there, and there's even a lot of racist cops out there. But do you think it should be more about like cops that misuse their power, or do you think Black Lives Matter is like the right title for it? Because I'm not saying that there's a bunch of white people getting murdered by cops out there. Like, I know there's a lot of racist cops out there towards black people. But I just want to know your thoughts on this. And like I said, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I know it's tough. You don't want to make anyone feel bad, or if you just don't want to answer, you don't have to. But I'm just want to curious to hear what anyone has to say about that subject, because there are a lot of white people out there that get killed by cops. They just don't get the highlighted social media news like an African American would if they were shot and killed by a police officer. So my thought on it is that it should be about cops that misuse their power. Because if we want to lead a change and have racism be gone, which I don't think will ever be gone, you have to stop thinking about as it being racism. Not everyone's equal. We're not all equal. No one will ever all be equal. But if you want to stop the racism, you have to stop saying things are racist. And I think it's more that cops misuse their power. But like I said, there's definitely cops out there that are racist. I'm not saying that there's not, because there is. I just want to know your thoughts on that. Like I said, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. But if you want to answer, thanks.